legs there like Stone Cold with a few beers. Play the game, I end the game, I'm champion and I'm Triple H. Undertaker, I'm your maker, bury the brother like Kane. Ooh, 1-3, hit the tombstone, hit the choke slam on face. Ooh, yeah, like a macho heel, turn like a muscle. If you sell a lot of tomatoes, I'ma keep a couple models. Ooh, and you may call me HBK. When I'm tuning up the band, you best be getting in my way. Ooh, yeah, I'm degenerate, I love it, yes, I love it. If you ain't down with that, then I got two as well, you suck it. Too sweet, put your fangs up. Too sweet, hold another cup. Let's be busy, 20.
Welcome everyone to your longest running Australian wrestling podcast, Wrestle Radio Australia. I'm your host, Todd Eastman. It is good to be here with you this week. I know we had a couple of weeks off, but I've been absolutely jam-packed with actual doing wrestling things. So we worked Wide Bay. I think we had a week off. Then we worked Venom Pro Wrestling last weekend, where Mitch Ryder won the Venom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. So congratulations to Mitch. And then this weekend we've got Pro Wrestling League back to attack at the Kedron Wavell. So if you're in Brisbane, please do go and check it out. I know there's not too many tickets left at the moment, so you need to get in there if you really do want to come on Saturday night. There wouldn't have even been a show this week, to be perfectly honest with you, if I haven't been lucky enough to land not just one, but two really good guests, really good Australian wrestling guests. And they are Buddy Matthews and Toni Storm from AEW. This weekend, of course, or this Monday, of course, AEW has Double or Nothing coming up on FITE. It is, FITE is the only way you can watch it in Australia. Main show starts at 10 a.m., but the buy-in is free and it starts at 9. You can order it, of course, on FITE TV. Please do go and do that because it is going to be a hell of a card. Main event, of course, is CM Punk against Adam Page for the AEW World Championship. Buddy Matthews is in a 6-man with the House of Black against the Death Triangle, which will be a show stealer. Unfortunately, Toni Storm won't be on the show because she lost in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Memorial Cup. So she won't be there, but you're going to be a hell of a show stealer, I think, in the Death Triangle versus the House of Black. I was very lucky to talk to the two of them on a range of stuff going on with AEW and coming into and all the stuff around that. Bit of a warning, the Toni Storm audio isn't the best because you can hear Paul White doing another interview sort of in the background of that interview. So in essence, you're getting two interviews for the price of one, really. You're not hearing a question, but you'll hear Paul White's answers, sort of. I don't know what to do. The Buddy Matthews interview was a lot better. The sound of it was a lot better. So you'll get that. So there we go. I had a really good chat with the two of them. I have to thank FITE TV for organizing the interview. Thank you so much for doing that. It was really fun, and I can't wait to do it again someday, hopefully. But you can support us. Please make sure you subscribe to WRA. It's free. You can do it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcasts from, we're there. If you do stop by Apple Podcasts, please do give us a 5-star. Helps us get in more ears and the algorithm dealy thing. Please do go and do that and support the show. Give us a 5-star, all that. Spread the word about it. As for the Spotify, just favorite, and then you'll get notifications every time a new episode pops up. That's it. I'll support your local wrestling as much as you can. Again, like I said, this weekend up here in Brisbane, I will be at Pro Wrestling League supporting or managing my man Mitch Ryder against AJ Istria or Punch Drunk Istria for the Pro Wrestling League Heavyweight Championship. So we're going to see how that goes. Maybe get another belt into the collection, into Team Top Tier. We'll see how that goes on Saturday night. But I'm not going to ramble on this week. Please do follow us on all the socials. Wrestle Radio Australia on Facebook, Wrestle Radio AU on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Beast Eastman on Twitter for old man yelling at cloud wrestling views. So until then, I'm going to just go straight into the interview with Toni Storm, and then after that, it'll be the interview with Buddy Matthews right here on Wrestle Radio Australia.
The Bro Day Pod.
You know who else is that guy?
Oh,
You know what that guy does? That guy sits in the middle and uses both armrests.
Oh,
Full spread. Full spread. That's that guy.
Okay.
That's that guy.
Right. If you take a plane, right? If you're in a plane, don't take a plane. If you're in a plane,
don't take a plane. Bro,
and you're in the middle, and you use both, you are scum. You are scum. You don't get those armrests. Wait.
Come on. I'm a little with you. Wait, what?
No, the middle guy definitely gets those armrests.
Both of them?
Yes.
Full spread?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
No, okay, sorry. No, because I saw a meme about this. I retract everything I just said. I'm flopping right now.
Follow Bro Day No Plan B podcast on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts. I am joined here by one of the House of Black, Buddy Matthews. Buddy, mate, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
From primarily working against Malachi Black, even sort of in the Indies before you joined with AEW, to now teaming with him, is this something you talked about during sort of your free agency, or was it?
I think that it just kind of, it was a story that came full circle. Not necessarily talked about. I just felt like it was the next chapter. We both felt like it was the next chapter of our saga, so to speak. So, we talked about it briefly, but then when kind of the opportunity arose, we took it, and we're enjoying what we're doing now. And I feel like on a personal level, me and him are very similar. So I think that shows on the television product. I think that shows in our chemistry, just standing next to each other, and then in our ring work too. I feel like you can tell that we're very much on the same page. So I just think it's I don't want to. It sounds weird saying it, but a match made in heaven in a way. So, and it's just cool. It's like fairy tale of the whole saga, the whole rivalry, just going full circle.
Yeah, because you even sort of in your free agency, all the vignettes that the both of you filmed, sort of, they all match together. So I was just wondering if that was like, there was another plan going forward, and sort of the AEW thing was like, oh, we'll do this instead.
That wasn't on the radar at the time. I think I'm a big fan of like Marvel movies and like the hidden Easter eggs, and so's Malachi. So I just think that it was entertainment. It was to put out content of entertainment, not necessarily, oh, this is going to happen in the future. If you pay like really close attention to the way the vignettes were shot, his were all indoors, mine was all outdoors. We make reference to each other, but not make reference to each other. So it was like a different universe, but in the same.
Like the Marvel shorts.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Iron Man's got his own franchise, and then you have Thor, who has his own franchise, but then you have the Avengers. So that was kind of the way that we kind of looked at it. And it was just putting out entertainment for fans and having it and enjoying the creativity process that, we didn't really have. And being in the wrestling business, we're very creative people, and it's just having that outlet to do it. So, he found his outlet and did his version. I did my creative outlet and my version, and, they intertwined, but they weren't necessarily out there to do what we originally, or what we ended up doing. So it was just entertainment and to entertain ourselves.
You also seem to have a little bit more creative freedom now here in AEW to do the stuff like this.
Yeah, it's great to be able to kind of contribute to we get to contribute to the product and deliver an image that we believe that our characters believe in. There's still restraints, obviously. It's a TV show, and you have a certain amount of spots, but on television you have a certain amount of spots on television. We definitely have a great outlet to express what we would like to do, or a way that we could go about it. So it's awesome to be able to work for a company and deliver a version of ourselves the way we see ourselves, not necessarily being handed on a paper like this. Say this. Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm Australian. Why would I say it like that?
Yeah,
it's on a bit of paper. You know what I mean? So we get to work on the finer details on how our characters would particular play that character or what that character would be in that situation.
Now I know you've been watching the local product because Brooksy and I are mates, so it's like you tell me that you message him and critique what he's done.
He messages me. He messages me. Not necessarily he doesn't want to hear it, but he needs to hear it. But yeah, sometimes he'll reach out to me, and I keep up to date with Melbourne City Wrestling. My original kind of mainstay company. So, they send me a link, I'll watch it when I'm doing cardio or whatnot. So, I dabble in it. And I don't know everything, but I don't want to know everything because I kind of want to, if I can step back from it and I can view it, I can see it and view it differently than what I would if it was work.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, of course. Are there any of the people there that you see you're like, well, that guy's the next, or that person's the next? They've got it. They've got something that's going to develop in a year or two.
I'm very, very picky, and I always say it. I even say it to Brooksy and Slex when I talk to him. Like I always say that I've been brainwashed in a particular way, and I think brainwashed in a good way. That I see things completely different. I see details that people don't normally see. I've done a lot of studying. I've studied like human psychology on ways that people will react and how to draw emotion out of people, and details will do that. And like I've studied it, you know what I mean? During the pandemic, I would, do classes on business and how to do marketing and classes on, human psychology and why people do particular things. I've sat in hundreds of airports all around the world and people watch for hours, and I feel like I've become very good at it. So if I can take those skills, which I gathered from all the times at the airport and what I've, taught myself, and I can incorporate it into my work to draw an emotion out of someone in any way. If I can take them on a roller coaster, then I will. But I think that I've definitely been brainwashed, but I just see things differently. So I'm very nitpicky, and I think that there is a lot of people that can go far, but they need to be willing to accept. It sounds silly, but they need to be willing to accept that they're not the best performer that they are now. Because I'm not the performer I was 3 years ago. I'm not the performer I was 6 months ago. I'm constantly developing, and that's a way of knowing. You know what I mean? Like you need to be willing to take a step back and go, oh, I'm not the best that I am. Like you're going to constantly get better and better and better. So
yeah,
I've been brainwashed. So a lot of people need to learn and be open to knowing that they're not the best now, and then later on, if they're open to get critiqued and take those on board, they will become better and better. There is a lot of, long story short, yes, there's potential.
I like to say to the guys, like, look, if you didn't know you were as good as what you are now, you'd probably be a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be willing to check your ego at the front door. I've done that in more times than I can count. I would always say it. I do it everywhere. I do it with, I did it back when I was with the Indies back in Australia. Before I was with WWE, I do it now. Like I don't care about what I did good. What can I do better? And like, you feel, oh, that was really cool. Yeah. But what do I need to do better? And I'm the biggest critique of myself. I've never had a good match in my life. You know what I mean? I've never had a good match because I know that I can take it to the next step. I know that there's a finer detail I can get out of something. But yeah, that's the way that I function, and it goes into fitness. It goes into everything I kind of do. Like I'm never the best at it. Like I'm constantly striving to be better.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that when guys have come backstage, I'll be like, well, you've got 50 guys here that'll tell you how great you are. I'll tell you what I think you need to improve on.
Yeah,
because that's what I want to hear if I come back through. Like, tell me what I did wrong so I can fix it.
Yeah, and I feel like just the biggest thing is no one wants to hear it, and that's the biggest the ego check, right? Like, you know, if you have credentials and whatnot, and you know, and it's going to be different for other people. They're going to have different takes on stuff, but like, I know who I can go to, who I respect enough to go, hey, blah blah blah, and they'll throw it back at me. You know, I Brody does it with me, and then I do it with Malachi. Malachi does it with me. We do it with Brody. You know what I mean? Like, especially the house too. The house, we're mirrors of each other. You know what I mean? So we can go to this person. We're a feedback machine because we want to be the best that we can be and put out the best thing that we can do. So the only way we can do that is by feedback.
Like, is tagging your main focus now, or is singles competition sort of what you really want to do?
Not necessarily what I really want to do. I think what we're doing right now is, like, you know, we'll go through Death Triangle this Sunday. You know, I think we're the only undefeated trio there is in AEW. So if there's some trio titles coming, I think we're at the top of the line for those. And then, you know, like, whatever opens up. You know, maybe me and Malachi, maybe me and Brody tag, maybe I go into singles, maybe Brody and Malachi tag, who knows? But we have so many options on where we can go with it. You know, the future's bright and has many options. So
yeah, that's a good thing about
not dying on that sword. Yeah,
that's the good thing about the 3-man unit. Is that, like, if they want to put one of you on a singles run, you've got a tag team set. If for all three of you guys, and all three of you guys are very capable of doing either role quite easily.
Yeah, we can interchange. We can do tag team. We can do singles. We can do trio. And if we're mixing it up, great. It's just more variety for the fans.
Yeah, and with the competition you've got in AEW, there's so many sort of, for you anyway, there's so many fresh matchups that people haven't seen because you didn't do the US Indies. You didn't do any of that sort of stuff. So everything for you really is new. Like, you and Penta is new. You know what I mean? It's a whole thing. It's got to be exciting for you after, like, the years of being in the WWE, where you had these guys that you were pretty much around for, like, 5-6 years.
Absolutely. And I think that it's more exciting for the fans because I get on a daily basis on, you know, there's probably 27 dream matches from people, you know what I mean? Like, on a daily basis, I get tweeted about it. Like, you and Phoenix singles dream match, you and Penta singles dream match. Like, you know, like, I want to wrestle Darby. Like, you know what I mean? There's the talent, like me and Puck singles, like, you know what I mean? You're only getting a little snippet now, but like, you don't want to get it all at once, right? You don't want the big explosion, the first thing in a movie. You want to build up to it. So, you know, like Darby, then you have like, you know, Andrade, Young Bucks, Kenny. Like, you know, there's so many avenues we can go down later, which is going to be fresh and brand new. And I think that's what professional wrestling as a whole needs is freshness.
And that being said, like you said, there's all these things that, like, your debut in New Japan was against Okada. So, I mean, where do you go from in New Japan from, like, Kazuchika Okada?
House of Black. House of Black versus TMDK, maybe. Who knows? You know, there's multiple things we can do in New Japan. But my focus at the moment is the house. And, you know, the house in all honesty, we think we could be the biggest thing in wrestling in New Japan. We want to tour around the world as the house. We want to give people the experience that the house gives, because I feel like that's what we kind of are. We are an all-round experience. We have the ring work. We have the presentation. We have, you know, the aura. So we want to get out there. We want to show the world what we're capable of. We want to be bigger than, we believe that we can be bigger than most, and we're definitely going to try.
Honestly, one of my favorite moments in wrestling, watching live wrestling, was at where you won the cruiserweight title in Melbourne, must have been amazing for you. Is that something that you really want? You really hope one day AEW can do, bring AEW down to Australia so you can show them this side of Buddy Matthews?
I think that it's just a matter of time. AEW's 3 years. They've been around for 3 years now, three great years. So we're still fresh. You know what I mean? We're doing this interview with yourself. AEW is getting well known now. Australia and UK are big markets, for AEW. So it's only going to get bigger. So when it gets bigger, they're going to have no choice but to go down to Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, go to the UK, do London. You know what I mean? I think this is, sooner rather than later, I think this will be a global touring company.
I think UK is prime and ready for you guys to jump in and start touring that place, because Australia are rabid wrestling fans, but England even more so.
Absolutely. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time now. We have the pay-per-view on Sunday, which will be, I think it's one of the most stacked cards I've ever seen as a fan. I'm excited as a fan. I would like to see it. So we'll get through Sunday, and it's just another stamp on the passport of what AEW has to offer, and the world is our oyster, so to speak.
I've got to say, this is sort of full circle. You were actually the first interview we did on this show. It was back when you just signed.
Oh, really?
So it's sort of like, I was only thinking about it last night. I'm like, geez, it's been 10 years now.
It's definitely been a long time. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's been, when I say it out loud, it's been longer than it actually feels, but it actually feels like a long time too. So, I've had a great journey, and I feel like it's just kind of getting started. I've closed that book. I've started a new book, and we're starting new chapters, and we're just gonna take this ride and see where I end up, and just enjoy the process of it all.
Yeah, like I said, mate, I can't wait to see some of the matchups that for you are available now in AEW, mate, and I really hope to see you grow more as a performer over the journey, because the stuff you've been doing so far is already amazing, and we're real proud of you down here in Australia, mate, and thank you so much for coming on.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming to this hotel room on beautiful Vegas day. I could be out in the sun, but I'm not. But I appreciate it. It's been 10 years, obviously, since I've been last on here. So let's do it again in another 10.
Okay, mate. Thank you.
Much appreciated, bro. Thank you.
You guys were up here not too long ago.
Yeah. It was always the guy that made
you did like a training seminar with 3 Count with Bobby and Jess and Lucille.
Yeah.
And, how did you feel like the talent was
he cut
up there now?
So good. I was honestly so impressed.
Trying to walk back through the curtain,
despite being so far away and not having access to a lot of training schools, everyone, they really impressed the hell out of me. It was really cool.
Seconds to myself.
I was really proud of everyone. Yeah.
You have that one finger.
Yeah, but Bobby was saying, he's like,
been stepped on.
It's like, it's so good to have you guys there to just help
pulling on
the people along, just give them a little bit extra, like just.
Oh, that was that was sweet. Yeah, everyone was like, it was really cool. It was really nice to be home, and it was the first time I got in the ring again
for decades. I got
such a long time too. I felt like I got to go back to the start, you know, and train with all the boys again. It was cool. It was good for me. It was really good for my soul.
I'm still a kid in
actually.
the candy store, believe it or not, working with all those incredible
Yeah, because
talents. Now,
well, after being released,
twilight of my
you sort of
career, getting a chance to
didn't work for a
with
while, and
amazing
now
young talents,
you debuted, and from your debut, you made it to the semis of the Owen Hart tournament. That must be kind of bittersweet to go on such a good roll and then sort of have it stop. Where it stopped.
Yeah, last night didn't really go as planned, but I mean, I'm here for the long run in AEW, and there's going to be a lot more to see coming from me, you know. So yeah, it's I feel like I'm
I thought it was great. I
building
thought it was good for Steve because you know
more
Steve
momentum
and
than
I
ever
stay in
at the
touch a
moment,
lot. We're
despite
pretty good buds.
you know
We're usually
hiccups here and there.
laughing about
So it's
cars
going
and-
well,
and,
actually.
dog
Yeah.
videos.
How's your
Despite-
how's
I
your
know he's been
nose?
working really hard. He
Yeah,
stays in
somehow
shape, he
still
gets the
attached
gym,
to
he
my
gets his
face.
cardio in. And,
I
know
basically
that
just got
there's-
super hit straight in the
he
nose
loves this
hard.
business and like me,
Yeah, it's
you
fine.
always want to be a
Kick
part
my
of it.
head
And
off.
for him to get out there,
Kick
my head off.
roll and
See
have
what
that
happens.
opportunity to mix it up.
Yeah.
That's
Who in the
I thought he
AEW
did
women's division
fantastic.
at the moment?
I
Because it is a
really did.
fairly
I mean,
stacked.
I know they're the
division,
other
yeah.
company, but
Yeah.
Who
I
are you
was
most
really, really
looking forward to working with?
pleased
Man,
and
there's
happy with how
I'm
that whole thing
like so
turned out.
impressed with the women's
The way they
division
laid it
as a whole.
out,
It's
even
it's
Vince getting
there's
his
so many
ass in the ring
women
and doing
just
something great.
fighting
So,
for it, you know, really
I've
giving
just done all
it
those guys for
everything.
so long.
I mean, the division
That's it.
stacked. We
Well,
got Serena
here's the
D,
thing, and-
you know.
and he'll be the
We
first
got
one to admit,
Serena
he
D.
takes the crappiest
There's
stunner
Chris
ever.
Statlander. I haven't had.
Like,
I haven't been able to get in the ring with her
it's
yet.
it's a
But
good
that's
thing
someone I
he's
would
a smart guy
definitely
to run
like
a
to.
company because he's
There's
just not an
it is
athlete.
just
God bless him. He's a hell of a
such a
weightlifter.
stacked division,
You
and
know,
there's so
squat
much
700 pounds, bench 500
potential
pounds,
for
but he's just
awesomeness.
he's not the athlete that
And
Shane is. that's
I
for
feel
sure.
like I'm a part of something special. I feel like I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Sure.
And, yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, and especially with like being that they're now sort of attached to Ring of Honor and also New Japan, which by right is sort of Shimmer as well. I think now. Out of like which title would you be more interested in going for at the moment, like TBS, the AEW, or the Ring of Honor title?
I mean, I guess the AEW women's, but like I feel like all of these titles have great meaning already, and I would want to be going for all of those titles at some point, not at the same time, but I think each of those titles would be a big deal for me, and it would, if I can get my hands on as many as possible, that's the whole point. Of being a big star, having all the titles. Yeah, so I think they're all important, and I would like to, fight for all of them.
All these different things.
So you said before that you hadn't sort of wrestled for ages and all that, and now like after being sort of used sparingly before you were released, and now you're sort of back. How does it feel like jumping back into sort of almost full-time competition?
It's honestly, it's what I've been wanting for so long. I'm so happy that I finally get to have that lifestyle again. I like keeping busy. I like wrestling consistently. I like being on the road a lot. You know, as exhausting as it can be, I love it. And for the longest time, I wrestled so sparingly. Like in WWE, I'd have a match, and then it would be weeks of nothing. And then the match again. So it was hard. I find it's really hard. It's harder when you don't wrestle as much. I find it's even harder on your cardio if you're not constantly in the ring getting reps in. Because I was even saying, William Regal brought it up to me, actually. He was just like, oh, yeah, I don't know how people do it when they, it's like you just wrestle here and there, but you never really think about it when you wrestle all the time. I always felt that's been the case when I'm wrestling a lot and I have like a few matches, when I'm stacked, when my schedule is stacked, I seem to run through it easier.
Yeah,
it's strange. Yeah, it's funny how that works.
Yeah, it's got to be harder too, because during sort of like the pandemic era, there was not even any house shows you could go on.
Yeah,
get your reps in.
Even before that, even before I was on SmackDown, like it was
them
Yeah,
not being able
barely
to
barely
entertain
working,
fans,
but
and I know that
you
they
know,
both
but I
are very
was, you know,
passionate. I
getting
love doing
I was
it.
getting my training in and stuff
You know,
like that,
again,
which
that's
kept me
all you
going.
can do
But
is sit
now
back
I
and
feel
wait
that,
and
you
see
know,
what happens.
I get used a bit more regularly so far, and I think it's going to be quite a busy schedule. I feel like I've got my work cut out for me,
Yeah.
and I just love it. You know, it's a good buzz. You know, I'm glad that I get to do that again post pandemic. It's been hard though, definitely getting back into it. Getting I remember my debut match
Well, it was a shoot. He
against the
punched me in
Bunny.
the freaking nose.
Oh God, I was so sore after that. I was
I said it was a
exhausted.
shoot. He
Yeah,
punched me
because
in the
it was
nose. I told him to break it.
you know,
But,
and we didn't even really have a long match.
Like, I mean, I don't know how you work that.
God,
like,
I remember
you know,
the
I mean,
next
sorry,
one.
I
Was,
said,
damn, I
"Man,
really
said,
feel
"Don't
it
shove
now
it down the
because
back
I
of
just
my
hadn't,
head," but
you know, I
you can
hadn't
top it. I
been
mean,
beat
to
up
get
in
a
so
chance to
long. But
work
I'm,
with
you know, I'm feeling
probably one of
feeling
the
better
greatest
with each
fighters
match.
of
I
all
feel
time.
like I'm
Certainly one of the
a little
greatest
tougher.
defensive fighters of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Would you
You
almost
know,
say like
to work
the
with
break
Floyd and
might have
to
in
have
some
that
ways sort of been
opportunity
a
for that
good thing because you
spotlight
sort
at
of
WrestleMania.
recharged,
I mean, that
little
movie
bumps and
changed.
bruises and
Originally, I
nicks
think
all
that
sort
was
of like
supposed to
heal up
be
for you,
Yeah.
and you sort
Floyd
of
Knight
you're sort of in the
against
best space
Batista
now.
Brecht. It was supposed
It's
to be a
probably
tag
for the best
originally.
because when
And
I
then
was
there was
super
a
busy
series of
before the
injuries. I think
pandemic,
Nate got
there was a
hurt
lot of
really
little,
badly before
you know,
lap
like
or
little
bicep, and
things
same
that
thing
could
happened with
turn
Greg.
potentially
And all
into
this happened
injuries,
before
like
we
my
got kicked
shoulder. I
the
knew that
angle off.
if
So when
if
they
I didn't quite
presented the
take care of
opportunity, hey,
that,
would you
then
work with him
you know that could
one-on-one?
be a
I'm like,
problem
hell
if I keep
yes, I would work
working
with him.
with like a
Whatever you
messed up
guys want
shoulder.
to do.
So in a
There are
way, it's
certain
kind of
times in
good
this
to be able to
business
get that
where
break and then
you have
reset.
to, you know,
It
whether
might
you
have
take
added
one for the
years to
team
my
or take
career.
one
Who
for the fans
knows?
or take one for your own career,
Yeah.
however you want to take it. But I knew
Well,
at
being
that
that
moment
like
for us to get the kind of
with
attention that we
AEW,
needed,
they also let you do like
we need to do
indie
something
promotions
that
as
no
well.
one
Somewhat.
would
Is there a
not
particular
talk
indie
about,
that
and
you'd
that
be
would be
interested
to have
in
him
trying
get on
or
one
having
knee
a
and
look?
have him lightly
At the
nose up,
moment,
like,
it's a bit
no pun
it's a
intended,
bit
like
tough
downtown
because the
Las
schedule
Vegas.
right now is
But I
already
did tell him though, I said, hey,
like
look,
I feel like
there's
I'm
going to be about
snowed
10
under
seconds that come
completely
from a long
because you know
ancestry
AEW is even though it is once a week, it's still you know there's still travel involved, and I have OnlyFans as well. I have a signing, so it's a full-time thing. Like I work around. I feel like I'm working around the clock. It's been good. It's been busy times. So it's really not finding time for that. But right now, I just feel like I'm getting my foot in the door at AEW, and I'm just really staying focused on it right now, especially in these beginning stages, because I you know I really want to do well there, and I want to become a champion in AEW, and I want to give my life, you know, I want to give them my best work. I want to give them the best version of Toni Storm possible. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing everything right in regards to being the best I can be for AEW. Eventually, surely when I get more routine with the schedule, who knows, maybe I'll be able to pick up an indie here and there, which is always fun. You know, you know, there's so many good indies all over the world that I would love to visit or revisit. But yeah, that's just gonna take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you didn't make the final for the Owen. So, being that's not the match you'll be looking forward to the most. What match on Double or Nothing are you really sort of wanting to see?
I always tease Brock.
Me in the final would have been what I wanted to see, but we're not going to be having that either. You know, I mean, I didn't get through last night, but I mean, Jamie Hayter is screwed, so it's all good. It's not the end of the world. It's not like I'm not going to be, you know, a success in AEW. This is just a minor hiccup. I'm not going to let this get in the way of my momentum.
You'll ever meet in your life, because if you like,
it's all good. I'm not worried. I'm still gonna get. I'm still gonna build my way up in this division and be on top of it all. So
but
I'm not gonna let this.
One of my favorite moments was actually in Australia.
Get my way.
We had just landed from charter.
There's so many matches, like off the top of my head, I think of you in AEW that would be good, like you and Mercedes Martinez, Serena Deeb, like you mentioned before. I mean, Britt Baker again, like you two have had a tag match. You had the singles last night. you're sort of like 1-1 now because you got the pin in the tag.
Yeah.
So sort of like the rubber match in that one would be good as well. Jamie Hayter and you had a great match.
He doesn't like flying.
Thank
He
you.
doesn't like crowds.
Yeah.
You know,
That was one of those
crazy.
Yeah, I remember
It's like
messaging.
that
I think it was Bobby. I messaged Bobby going,
So I
"That's the
remember
type of
Brock
match I like to watch."
came out of the jet bridge.
Oh,
They
that's
were all
awesome.
the
Thank
fans.
you.
They don't hold back. They
Every
just
single
go
person
for
took a
it.
She's
picture,
heavy
like, it
hitting,
was like
Jamie
a-
Hayter. She's
a
like
Hollywood
got to be one
press
of the
match.
strongest women I've ever
All
met in
these
this
pictures of
industry,
Brock.
and she made me feel
Brock
like
had
an
on
infant.
sunglasses.
I was like a child.
And I remember he tipped his
Like,
sunglasses
you know,
down. He looked
she's
at
so
everybody.
strong.
Everyone's
There's
holding
so
their
many
cameras.
talented
They're looking
women
because they're
on this roster.
expecting
I
Brock
would
to
love to
say
get in there
something
with
like
Serena Deeb.
hello, or
That would
I'm glad to be in
that
Australia.
would do a
or something.
lot
It was
for
that
me
moment
as a
where
wrestler.
everybody's
That would
paused.
probably
And
push
Brock
me
did that
into
head
like a
flicks
whole
thing
different
like he
zone.
does. It's
Mercedes
so quick.
Martinez, I've
He
wrestled her
made
before, and I
300
feel like we
people
have
gasp
incredible
and take a
chemistry.
step
I feel like
back.
she's an excellent
Because every
performer.
single person there
Just
thought
there's
Brock
so
Lesnar
much
was coming from
possibility
them.
for such.
And then he smiled
I
and put
get
his glasses
to,
on.
you
and
know,
had a bag of spam.
I
That
get
made
to
me
be a part
laugh.
of
So I
this,
said,
and
"Dude,
I
you
get
just
to
made 300 people flinch."
I feel like I'm
Like,
gonna
that
have a
was
lot
the
of good
funniest
matches
thing I think I
and
personally
have
ever
a good
seen.
time, and that's what's most important.
Other than just general, just his general craziness. You know, he's a guy
Yeah.
that
And
loves
just,
to work hard and
like
loves to play hard.
you must have been so
and I
happy
had a lot of
with
fun with
the
it,
reaction
you know,
you
from
got
him
when your name
having
showed
that
up on that
forklift match where he jacked the
before your
forklift
debut
way
in
up.
AEW, because it
And I
wasn't
told
really
this dude, look,
a lot
I'm
of
not
things
really
get
cool
leaked
with heights,
nowadays,
this
but
is
that
pretty
wasn't
risky,
leaked at
so
all. So it must
so
have been
don't
great
jack
to
me all the
get
way
that
up to the ceiling.
response.
He's like,
It was
"Oh,
really
I won't do
cool.
that."
I felt
I'm like,
really
what does he do? He
welcome,
jacks me
and
all the way
like,
up to the ceiling and drives around.
yeah,
all
I felt,
crazy.
I was like, thank
And
God
I'm
I
screaming at him
didn't
up there. They had to
quit. I
cut
just,
the
you know,
microphones off in that area.
get back on that horse, you know,
Dropping all
onto
kinds
the
of
next
F-bombs,
show.
yelling at him to cut it out. He's like,
So
"I'm terrified,
yeah, it
hanging
felt
on this,
really cool.
This pallet before it. So
How close
That's
were
that.
you to just going,
Long-winded,
well,
I know.
I'm done now. I've done this, and it obviously it's not working, and I don't know. I just like, how close were you?
I mean, I was up and down with it, but like I was a crazy person during that time when I quit. You know, that wasn't like normal behavior. Like I was, you know, I was in a crazy headspace when all that went down. So I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like one moment I'd be like, I'm quitting, I'm done, and the next I was like, no, I'll never quit. But then obviously, like when I calmed down and like got my shit together, it was like, well, I'm obviously gonna stay. What else am I gonna do? I'm not qualified in anything else. This is it. What am I gonna go and like use that law degree that I didn't get? You know, like I've put my entire life into this industry, and by God, I'm gonna stay. You know, that I'm not going anywhere. This is my business. And, thank God, Tony Khan gave me a job. Thank God, I'm so blessed, so lucky, so thankful for an opportunity to continue on. Because obviously, like WWE just wasn't a place for me for several reasons, and I left. And you know, I didn't know what it was. Kind of scary. I didn't know what was going to be next. I didn't know what my life was going to look like. I was like terrified. I was scared. I was like, you know, that it broke my heart. And then, but now I feel like I've regained my strength. I feel like I'm in a way better place, and then some. I feel like the best I've ever felt in my life. It's great. So I'm just thankful, feeling really blessed. I'm so like thankful for all the fans that have really been supportive of this. And you know, it's hard. You know, it's hard for them to probably understand because they're not in the industry. They don't know how it really is, but they've been really supportive nonetheless. And you know, I feel like they've been with me on this crazy journey. It's meant the world.
Yeah. Well, speaking on behalf of everyone down here in Australia, mate, we are so very proud of what you're doing, and especially up here in Queensland. You like a god up here in Queensland to a lot of people here. So
crazy. I love Queensland. I love everyone in it. I miss everyone so much.
But thank you so much for joining us, mate, and hope to see more of you in AEW.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
So smart.
Too sweet, yeah. Too sweet, put your fangs up. Too sweet, pour another cup. Let's be busy 20.